Hi, my name is Ava Morales. My pronouns are she, her. I'm from East Wenatchee, Washington. And my favorite hobbies, I have so many hobbies, but my favorites right now is probably my photography. I'm really into that and I feel really passionately about it. I love going to the gym every day. I love doing tarot readings and just reading. Drawing and sewing, and I want to be a teacher, either elementary school or high school, nowhere in between. For high school, if I did high school, I would want to be a history teacher or a zoology teacher or like some sort of science teacher. And Western is a perfect school to learn how to be a teacher. I think it's this school, and then Central is like one of the better schools in the state for teaching. And I just love Bellingham. And one thing you can't tell by looking at me is I'm a collector, I guess. I collect bugs, I collect bones, I collect plants, I collect everything. My bugs, that's my favorite. I'm really, really passionate about my bugs. I love them so much, and I've done it since I was like really, really little. Like I have bugs that I've collected since like back when I was like 4 that I just hung on to. And what am I excited to learn about in this course? Why am I taking it? I'm really excited to learn how to communicate and bond with, like, in a bigger team, I guess, because it's kind of like a classroom. Like, that's basically all teaching is, kind of. It's just forming connections and, like, learning, in this case with, but, like, helping other people learn. And I think this will set me up and give me good skills to use with my future students in a classroom. And I think this class will teach us skills that we will use the rest of our lives. And I'm gonna be honest, I signed up for this class without a single clue of what it was and what I was getting myself into. I had no idea, so I'm glad it's cool and useful. What have you learned about the course so far? Well, I learned what organizational communication actually is, and I had like I said, I didn't have any idea what I was setting myself up for. So I learned what it is, and that it's actually really useful, and that I might not be taking it for my major, but it's going to be really helpful for my major, in a sense. And what do you hope to learn from this course? I hope I learn how to be better at getting along as a team and how to lead an efficient team, which I don't think I'm bad at, but I think there's always room to grow, I think. And what are your expectations of yourself, peers, and professor in this course? My expectations for myself is to give 100% in this class and just to do my best, but I guess that's a pretty generic answer. And from my peers, probably the same. And for Dr. Perry, just to be like clear, concise, and consistent, which I guess that's what you can only ask from any professor, any teacher. Let's see, what is my learning style? It's definitely repetition, I would say, and demonstration. I'm a very visual learning kind of person, I guess. Hands-on, they go hand in hand, I think. And very detailed instruction, like very, because if something I struggle with is when something gets a little confusing or a little difficult, my brain just wants to shut off and not do it at all anymore, and that's not good. It's not good. What is the importance of valuing difference, equity, and inclusion? It's kind of the most important thing ever in life when it comes to having any kind of connection with people. And it creates an environment of fairness and comfortability for everybody. And I think it can really strengthen a community, if that makes sense. I just think it's like bottom tier what you need to like have a team. Like that has to be there, or else it's like, what are we doing? You know, or not, like if you don't have that, nothing else, we can't build on top of that, I guess. Or we have to have that to build on top of that. I hope that makes sense. And what will you actively do if you see or hear hate speech? I don't have any patience for it personally. The kind of person I am, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I will call it out and I will probably challenge it, depending on the way they're saying it, I guess. Like if it's an unintentional thing, I would probably try to educate them in a gentle way, if that's possible. But if they're doing it in just like, in just an absolute malicious, hateful way, I don't know. I just think that as adults in this class, everything that we say is a choice we make. And I think we are all capable of communicating how we really feel. And if somebody chooses to say that, it's like, you're gonna get called out, you know? And as a class, how can we develop a collaborative community that supports each other? I think simply being understanding or trying our best to be, because in my opinion, obviously communication is like the most important thing in any kind of community or a team, but communication is useless without understanding, in my opinion. Yeah, I guess I'm done. Bye.